This is a video presentation on adding fractions with unlike denominators by Mathematically Marcia. In order to add fractions, we do have to have a common denominator because the whole has to be the same number of pieces before you can add the parts together. So since we don't have a common denominator, we need to get one. So look at your denominators 2 and 4 and find your least common denominator or least common multiple. And that would be the smallest number that 2 and 4 both go into, which in this case would be 4. Then to find the numerator, we have to look at the denominators and see what we have to multiply by. So looking at this first example, 2 times 2 would give me 4. And since the denominator has to be multiplied by 2, I need to do it to the numerator also. That way it's still an equivalent fraction. If you only multiply one part and not the other, then it's no longer equivalent. Then for the second fraction, the denominator didn't change, so the numerator doesn't need to change. Now we're ready to add the numerators. 2 plus 1 is 3. And then we keep that common denominator. So 3 over 4. Okay, 1 over 6 plus 3 over 4. Those are not like denominators, and we can't add them unless we have like denominators. So we need the smallest number that 6 and 4 will go into, and that would be 12. So we know we want both of our denominators to be 12. Then we need to ask ourselves, what do I have to multiply 6 by to get 12? And that would be 2. And since I do the denominator times 2, we multiply the numerator times 2. And that would be 2. Okay, then for our second fraction, 4 times 3 is 12. So we need to do 3 times 3, which is 9. Now that we have common denominators, we can add the numerators together. 2 plus 9 is 11, and keep the common denominator. Okay, let's do 1/2 plus 2/3. We don't have common denominators again, so we need to find the smallest number 2 and 3 will both go into, and that would be 6. So that's my common denominator. Now look at each of these, and what do we need to multiply them by to get 6? 2 times 3 is 6. So I need to multiply this numerator by 3 also. And that gives me 3. Then for the second fraction, 3 times 2 is 6. So we need to do 2 times 2, which is 4. Now 3 plus 4 is 7 over 6. But we do have an improper fraction. So let's change it to a mixed number. 6 goes into 7 one time. We have one remainder. So that would be 1 and 1 over 6. Okay, we need a common denominator again because 8 and 4 are not the same. And 4 will go into 8, so that's going to be my common denominator. And this fraction doesn't change, or the denominator doesn't change, so neither does the numerator. The second one, we have 4 times 2 is 8, so we need to do 3 times 2, which is 6. Now 5 plus 6 is 11. over 8. Remember to keep the common denominator. Now let's change it to a mixed number. 8 goes into 11 one time. We have a remainder of 3, so 1 and 3 over 8. Okay, our common denominator on this one, smallest number 6 and 8 will go into is 24. Now to get 24, 6 has to be multiplied by 4. So we'll do 5 times 4. Which is 20. And then 8 has to be multiplied by 3. So we'll do 8 times 3, or 3 times 3, which is 9. So you add those together, you get 29 over 24, which is an improper fraction. So let's go ahead and change that. 24 goes into 29 one time. We have 5 left over. So it would be 1 and 5 over 24. Okay, let's look at this example with 3 fractions. If we're trying to add them together, we first of all need to get a common denominator. So we have the denominators 4, 6, and 2. And the smallest number that all 3 of those will go into is 12. So 12 is my common denominator. Now to get 12, I have to multiply 4 times 3. So I do 3 times 3, which is 9. I'd have to do 6 times 2 to get 12. So we do 5 times 2, which gives me 10. And then I have to multiply 2 by 6 to get 12. So we do 1 times 6, which is 6. Now we're ready to add. 9 plus 10 is 19, plus 6 is 25 over 12. Now let's change it to a mixed number. 12 goes into 25 2 times, with 1 left over. So this is 2 and 1 over 12. Okay, if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button below. Share your comments, thoughts, questions, or requests for future videos in the comments section. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.